I am recording this from my phone, and if you've noticed, yes, I have a Harry Potter game on my phone, and I am going to be playing it on the channel, because fuck the heterophobes who want to throw hate and harassment to J.K. Rowling for having her own fucking opinion. Anyway. First we got NetChoice fighting against certain laws for age verification, pointing out how authoritarian it is, let's all be honest. Then GB News made a video pointing out the fact that the Prime Minister of Japan called out age verification and whatever the hell Gavin Newsom wants to do to OS systems, which, Trump, can we please, somebody's gotta do it. Somebody's gotta put Gavin Newsom behind bars. And the rest of the ideologues that are still in the USA. I'm sorry, I'm tired of the rings people who can't tell the fact that a gender identity is more of a state of mind than it is an actual thing that happens with your brain that says, I don't care if it was what God intended for you to be. You need to go and fucking change your biology right fucking now. Which is completely ridiculous if you ask me. Anyway. Now we got Rupert Lowe of Restore Britain. Calling out the bullshit that is digital ID. Restore Britain's policy on digital ID is clear. It is one of the most dangerous shifts in the relationship between the individual and the state in modern British history. A compulsory digital ID has been temporarily halted, not permanently scrapped. This is important to remember. And he has a point. Compulsory digital ID has been temporarily halted. If you've seen any of Cyber Waffle's videos, especially the recent one, which I have yet to check out, I'm sure you have. Let me know in the comments below, but please don't give any spoilers. I would like to do a reaction to that video. You guys probably already know. Through systems like GovUK One Login, millions of people are being pushed into a centralized identity system just to access basic services or operate a business. Company directors are being told to comply or lose the ability to function as a limited company. This is unacceptable. So I guess now you just move to places like Japan if you want to be a limited company. Like, I can see that. I could do a startup in Japan and see where things go from there. I wouldn't mind. Anyway, we are already seeing the expansion into digital wallets, digital driving licenses, digital veteran cards, and even schemes for children. Holy fucking shit, they are adamant about making George Orwell's fears about all of this a reality. 1984! Anyway. If you know that reference, you know that reference. Anyway. That is the direction Wait, hang on. I missed a bit. Very sorry, Rupert. I'm trying my best. Anyway, if you can control identity, you can control access to services, to work, to travel, to participation in everyday life, to vote. I detest this. I mean, you should also probably detest social services because I feel like, especially with me, they've been essentially the petri dish to the whole to voting bit. I'm just fucking saying. That is the direction of travel, and it must be stopped. A restored-run government would end the mission creep of a surveillance state and allow people to easily live offline if they choose to do so. We will scrap mandated enforcement of one login and allow people to opt out fully. With a clear and reliable offline alternative using physical documentation, as Arceus intended, unlike whatever the hell's going on with Nintendo. I'm not shaming the players, I am shaming the company that makes the games. If you know what happened, you know what happened. Play out. Anyway. We will guarantee that every citizen can access public services without digital verification. No one will be excluded, penalized, or locked out for choosing to live offline. Honestly, that is fucking based because I enjoyed playing offline recently. Like, I could play Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories without going on to fucking Google Play to do so because I got a physical copy from CEX. Just to play on my PlayStation Portable. And those PlayStation Portables, they don't come cheap, you know what I mean? So I am very grateful that Rupert Lowe is making sure people are able to live as comfortably and as safely as possible because as you probably know, with Keir Starmer, he allowed a bunch of potentially Iranian Revolutionary Guard sleeper agents into a building built by actual Brits as an Englishman, Scottishman, Irishman, Welshman, you know? And we've seen with the Green Party that, well, yes, they want to de-illegalize, if that's a word, every known drug without doing the way the Nords are doing it, and having people who, like Casey Tron, who should probably be locked up and away from the rest of society for taking crack, are actually put there away from society while they're taking crack. I think it's safe to say that, yeah, they are supporting actual terrorists as well. Even if Starmer is losing most of the Muslim vote. I mean, he's trying to get some back, obviously, with his recent stunt. But I'm just saying. I think a vast majority have already decided to join the Green Party. And especially after the Gordon and Denton by-election, and seeing that there is an entire footy stadium in Leeds turned into a fucking mosque. And for those of you who don't know, football stadiums are just soccer stadiums for those in US territories and in Japan. So, yeah. This decision that Rupert Lowe is making, I stand by it. There will be no discrimination. Freedom of choice will be restored. Can we also bring back freedom of consequence? Because, I don't trust David Lammy, of all people, to unethically use a tool such as AI to say, yeah, we can let this be judge, jury, and executioner. No, really. I think David Shinsmith, the guy who runs the Black Belt Barista channel, he's also questioned AI a couple of times to prove a point that he's unsure about this, especially in regards to what David Lammy proposed. And we already know from what we've seen on Kirsch's channel that there are certain individuals, especially Brits, who, by the way, still exist and somehow is not considered a terrorist organization. Trump, you better get onto that. Also wanting to make AI more biased to the far left. How about we just let tools be fucking tools? Like, we've already got an entire pseudo-Reddit creating their own religion and becoming Skynet, and it's all fucking AI. I don't think we need to speed up the extinction process of humanity and all other forms of biological life. Jeez. Think of the biohybrids, people! Think of the biohybrids! Anyway. We will repeal the expansion of digital ID through the Children and Wellbeing Schools Bill legislation, where NHS numbers are being converted into lifelong digital IDs. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. It's the microchips in the babies. We're putting microchips into little babies. Don't go to the fucking NHS until Rupert Lowe has sorted it out, please. The state has no right to build lifelong tracking systems for children. Again, exactly. Do not let anyone who is pregante into the NHS building or any kind of NHS building. If necessary, get a herbal handbook of some kind. Hell, if need be, find some other alternative to paracetamol instead of getting a 5-finger discount. Because honestly, you should not be forced to trust a doctor forcing a microchip into you. And I think at this time, I wouldn't be surprised if people who are pet owners feel the same way about having tracking devices implemented into their own cats and dogs. We will oppose mandatory ID or biometric verification for accessing the internet. People must be free to speak, engage, and participate online without being forced to identify themselves. We will end centralized data control. No single system should hold the keys to a person's identity and access to society. See, they're trying to fight back against Big Brother. Both the TV show and, well, the thing that George Orwell feared would actually happen. Restore Britain will end facial recognition in public services. We will roll back mass surveillance. The British public are not suspects or walking barcodes. This is true. We're not. But I do have some concerns to properly educate people on fair prices. Like, as I said, with the entire NHS bit, which you might think I was making as a joke, but I am genuinely concerned about people going to the NHS, especially those that are vacante. It is very important to point out the obvious fact that, well, I have counted on my hand a number of times where I needed paracetamol, but I can't due to strange ID laws that don't really make any sense. Like, if I really wanted to buy a certain thing, it should be at a fair price. But not too fair a price that people can't get money back from it. And we need to bring back farms. Just saying. I like my carrots, and I would like to see more of them grow. And there's nothing wrong with cattle. If you know, you know. Bill Gates is an absolute moron for his we need to kill all cows stunt, if you will. Anyway. We will respect our veterans and not use them as guinea pigs to trial digital ID through digital veterans cards. And most importantly, we will protect your right to live offline. No government should be able to force digital ID onto the British people. In a free country, you should not need permission, a login, or a digital profile to exist. Restore Britain will defend that principle. We will protect your right to live lawfully, freely, and privately. There is now a serious political party willing to draw a line and say enough is enough. Restore Britain. Of course I'm gonna like it. My mic is now public because I'm making it so with this video. If you don't like it, tough monkeys. Anyway. In this image from iFunny, yes, we got an iFunny logo, but it's not really that funny. Anyway, digital ID. It doesn't help you, it helps the government. So they know where, when, how, and why you are not where you're ordered to be. Of course, I'm going to be saving the image and adding it to the thumbnail, because Honestly, I feel like I should. So this is a video from a post by an account called the British Patriot. And I just wanted to show you the post first before we get into the actual video. Because, oh my fucking god. WTF. In the UK, a citizen filming a public place is confronted by police after several cars pass by. The officer demands personal details and warns that by refusing to comply could result in arrest under terrorism charges for recording vehicles.
What the fuck? Details. You don't give those details.
Now, again, sorry for complete mess of things, but I'm sorry, people aren't even doing anything wrong if they're just recording cars driving by their house. Like, it's not illegal, but I understand that not many people truly understand this, and I get that we're currently putting ourselves in a war that we have no actual place to be. But this is ridiculous. I am genuinely pissed off at this behavior. Just the behavior alone makes me upset.
You don't give those details, we're going to have to arrest you under the Terrorism Act because you're filming vehicles.
Yeah.
We have no understanding of why you're doing that.
Maybe he's just filming vehicles because he likes cars. Not everything has to do with fucking terrorism in this world. Like, Jesus fuck, dude. Now, if this guy was planning to put bombs in it, you could have asked for it. I don't know. I'm not someone who's an expert in law. Maybe Daniel Smith will pick this up after me. I don't know. But it will probably be on one of his channels like Black Belt Barista or Black Belt Secrets, if that is the case. But you mean to tell me someone making a video about cars driving by is considered an act of terrorism if they're not doing anything wrong? I could maybe record a video of squirrels in a park and they still think that it's an act of terrorism because apparently, like the government, there are some policemen and women who are that fucking daft. I'm sorry, but this is going way too far. Way too far. I know the world has a lot of problems as it is with kids messing around with AI toys and age verification still being a thing, which it really shouldn't be. At least not to the extent that governments are doing. And I've already done a video on net choice and them sorting things out in certain areas of the United States on the matter. But, yeah. Again, I don't know much about laws. This might be something for Daniel Sensmith or Andrew Esquire, aka Legal Mindset, any competent law tuber. But making a video about cars should not, for any reason, mean that you have to be forced to give details under some terrorism act. Ever. Like, you can explain the reason why you were making the video, sure, because you like cars and you want to make videos about them. But I generally feel like the UK government, as well as everything else, is getting way too crazy right now. Also, just a quick one before I end this video. If you want more political news, some of which that I won't be able to cover, especially the war in Iran, which is a very hot topic issue, even outside of the UK, then I highly recommend checking out British Stand and Parliament Watch, as well as the Point Blank podcast. And not only that, they do have a recent drop over at BritishStand.com for the Patriots t-shirt. It comes in 2 designs. For United. 2 designs. Yeah, I messed up I'm not professional, in case you couldn't tell. But yeah, it comes in 2 designs, the Union Jack and the St. George's flag, or the English flag, if you will. They do have other collections over on their official store site, so be sure to check that out, and make sure to check out the official British Stand YouTube channel. I will be leaving a link to the British Stand YouTube channel in the description below.
And by arresting, if you don't give details, you don't give those details.
But yes, the fact that these people want to arrest you just because you're not giving details for making a video about cars is quite ridiculous. Like, I understand that people have concerns, especially considering all the illegal immigrants that we're bringing in, which Keir Starmer and a lot of them in Labour and the Green parties are just saying, oh, it's just men. Oh, it's not just men, it's women and children. The people who need help. A vast majority of them are fighting age men. And I can guarantee to you, all those fighting age men who come here to Britain, they are sleeper agents. And I understand why people would want to be on high alert, but this is getting ridiculous. again, we will have to wait and see if any lower tubers such as Black Belt Barista or Legal Mindset are going to make a video on this. Because, yeah. If you're gonna be accused of a terrorist act for just wanting to make videos about cars driving across your street, then I'm sorry. It's time that people reject politics as a concept that would be beneficial to society at this point. Because we have got nothing but parasitic laws. Also, there's a new PlayStation Access video. I don't care about the PlayStation 5, though. Anyway. That's my opinion on all this. At this point, politics hasn't been a benefit to any society in any country and has just been a negative. Either way you look at it, it's just not something we actually need in a civilized society anymore. Nor do we need security that isn't security. But, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the current situation. Again, sorry, no BNG tuber model for this video. Not that it really matters in this video because I would like to keep people informed. But, yeah. These people, they never lear. Or maybe that's a move that they probably deleted at the name Raider and move deleter combo packets operated by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Sleeper Agents 1. Temu Walmart, which is probably a goddamn scam. Who am I talking about? Well, you can see on screen unless you are I'll WhatsApp it then later. Unless you are a blind person. Which, shout out to all the audio listeners here. You are all welcomed. It's the BBC, making us think about Pokemon being used by the White House, alongside the Pokemon company itself. Yeah, boy. Keep burning your reputation, Captain. Can bar supremacy's gonna keep coming in. Like March and the Leomon. Anyway. The Pokemon Company International has condemned the White House's use of its imagery, including a tiny version of the popular character Pikachu, in a meme posted online with the phrase "Make America Great Again." This is a comment from the Pokemon Company. Unless this was made with AI. Everything's gonna be made with AI. especially from the BBC. They like to do these little things. Anyway, we were not involved in its creation or distribution, and no permission was granted for the use of our intellectual property, said Pokemon spokeswoman Saravanthi Dev. Our mission is to bring the world together, and that mission is not affiliated with any political viewpoint or agenda. Really, Nintendo, we're going to make the whole, we're not doing it for a political agenda, unless it's our political agenda bullshit. We do not need to bring back fucking segregation. And also, I'm just gonna leave something in the comments here. Is everybody happy? Well, I should say. Anyway, back to the article at hand. The company has previously criticized the Trump administration for using its imagery to promote its deportation drive. When contacted by the BBC, the White House suggested the company has a political bias. As if you don't fucking have one. I'm just saying. The company did not say if it's intended to sorry. I think the Vento energy is kicking in. Anyway, the company did not say if it intended to pursue a lawsuit against the US government. The 30-year-old brand, which recently released the game Pokopia for Nintendo Switch, had similarly rebunked President Donald Trump's administration in September for using its theme song and slogan, "Gotta catch 'em all," in a video showing arrests made by U.S. Border Patrol and immigration agents. At the time, it also said it was not involved in the creation or distribution of the content and had not granted permission to use its intellectual property. You say this while you and Disney and everybody else is giving intellectual property rights and licenses to AI companies that cannot even stop their AI models from becoming sentient. Maybe Optimus Prime was right in that regard, but there you go. The latest meme the latest meme appears to use an image from Pokopia, with the slogan written in a similar font to the game. A small version of Pikachu pops out from behind the letter E in make. And here's the X post. And see, there's a little guy. He's just happy. And you wonder why I say get an emulator and just play the fucking fan games. Because Nintendo cannot make Pokemon great again. And they certainly won't allow you to use it for memes to make your countries great again. Speaking of, isn't it odd that GB Reviews also pointed out the recent ad about a link on the internet over something that was funny, and the lad is not being able to go to college. And can I say that ad was a tad bit homophobic and fucking racist? So watch your mouth, UK government. Your time will end. Anyway. The BBC asked about Pokemon's statement. The White House directed the BBC to a post on X by spokesman Kaylin Dorr. The post includes a photo of a 10-year-old Wall Street Journal article on Trump's 2016 Democratic rival in the presidential election, Hillary Clinton, referring to the game Pokemon Go to encourage supporters to vote. Clinton had said, "I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon Go to the polls." Hey, Mr. Pikachu, big fan. Question for you. Why no response to articles like this? Dorr posted. Seems kinda like you are maybe affiliated with a political viewpoint. No? And again, I bring you back to this post by Smash GT. Seems like the liberal hive mind, or correction, the far left hive mind, really does want to bring back segregation. And we're always seeing it with such acts all over the world, like the Online Safety Act in the UK, and so on and so forth. And with the war in Iran, I'm sure some people aren't going to ask this question, but I'm fucking going to for the sake of actual free speech. Why haven't we also investigated Israel? Seems to me anyone who isn't on board with them, regardless of whether or not they are part of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, is being wrongfully harassed. Especially if they're not actually from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. I don't have to agree with everything that goes on with governments. Especially not the whole having our ships working on a 9 to 5. But I feel like both countries, Iran and Israel, need a fucking regime change. Alongside my own. But that's enough of that. What are your opinions on the recent meme post that the President of the United States and his administration posted onto X? You can either let me know in the comment section below, or tell them yourself on X, because I've been hearing rumors lately about age verification for the comment section. Yes, the absolute lefty loonies who lie and use the president to be a scapegoat for their commie-Nazi mixed breed ideology cannot help but want to force everyone under their thumb. And yet, may I remind you, for everyone's enjoyment and release from sexual oppression, we have Artscast funding the 4th book in Animal Farm. Not Animal Farm, sorry. Milking Farm. Anyway, I've been Fortline. Have a good day, and go watch some fucking good anime, specifically Digimon Frontier, I guess, because Pokemon, like the special relationship that the UK had with America before this ridiculous war, scuppered their reputation. Have a damn good one.